Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. As we all know, the emergence of Huawei's Kirin chip is like a sharp blade that pierces the heart of American companies such as Qualcomm and Apple, making them feel the threat from the Eastern giant companies for the first time. And the so-called lying and making money era in the domestic market has also been completely ended. But the reality is cruel. Just when everyone thought that Huawei was about to reach the international peak, it encountered comprehensive sanctions from the United States in 2019. From the entity list to chip rules, to the Quad Alliance, and the 5G security backdoor incident, Huawei was eventually severely injured and fell into the dilemma of no core available for 3 years, which is shocking. However, even so, the United States did not let go at all. Instead, it continued to target China's domestic technology companies, and in recent years, it has successively included more than 1,000 Chinese companies in the entity list, and even frequently would allies such as Japan and South Korea to exclude Chinese companies. Its purpose is very simple, that is, to completely restrict the development of China's technology industry. But what the United States did not expect was that, thanks to its unremitting efforts, an uncompromising spirit, Huawei achieved a breakthrough in just 3 years. In August 2023, Kirin chips and Huawei mobile phones returned strongly, catching the United States off guard. In fact, it is not only Huawei that has achieved a breakthrough under the layers of blockades in the United States. Many companies, like Huawei, are climbing against the trend in desperate situations. For example, technology companies such as SMIC, ZTE, Amic and DJI have not only begun to invest heavily in research and development and reduce orders from US companies in recent years, but have also repeatedly confronted the United States' unreasonable suppression behavior, especially Amic. Since it was included in the CMC list by the U.S. Department of Defense in January 2024 for military involvement, Amic has begun to launch a strong counterattack against the United States' behavior. In August 2024, in order to protect its own rights and interests, Amic directly appealed to the U.S. Department of Defense. It should be noted that the United States is a country with separation of powers. As long as the appeal wins, the U.S. federal court has the right to overturn the illegal decision of the Department of Defense. As the saying goes, a man of integrity is not afraid of his own shadow, and God will not let down those who work hard. According to a report by the media Reference News on December 18, 2024, citing the Singapore Lianhe, the Pentagon has officially announced that Amic has removed the CMC list, which is equivalent to lifting the ban, which also means that Amic has won the appeal this time. In fact, the reason why the United States chose to lift the ban on Amic this time is that on the one hand, the U.S. federal court ruled that its illegal decision was established, and on the other hand, after careful consideration, Amic had to be removed from the list. Many people may not be familiar with Amic. It was founded by Dr. Yin Jiao in 2004. It is a company specializing in the research and development, manufacturing and sales of high-end microprocessing equipment. Its main business is etching machines. As early as 2007, Amic launched the first generation of dielectric etcher, becoming the world's first company to use a dual reaction table that can be operated independently. Not only that, thanks to its heavy investment in research and development, Amic has also made major breakthroughs in the field of etching machines. When TSMC mass-produced 5 nanometers chip processes, Amic achieved mass production of 5 nanometers etching machines. When TSMC mass-produced 3 nanometers chip processes, Amic achieved mass production of 3 nanometers etching machines and successfully entered TSMC's supply chain, which shows how strong it is. What's more worth mentioning is that in 2024, most of Amic's etching machine parts have been localized, completely without any fear of any restrictions and sanctions from the United States. What's funny is that the United States thought that listing Amic on the so-called CEC list would limit its development, but this decision was extremely stupid, because Amic didn't need parts and technology from American companies at all. On the contrary, chip foundry giants, such as TSMC, still had to rely on Amic's etching machines. In other words, the United States also relied on Amic in the chip supply chain, and China could hold its neck. It was precisely because of this that the U.S. Department of Defense finally decided to remove Amic from the CEC list. Even foreign media said, "The dust has settled." In order to restrict China's development in recent years, the United States has used every possible means, even the method of hurting the enemy by 800 and hurting itself by 1,000, which is extremely shameless. However, it is precisely this series of measures taken by the United States that has forced China to rise faster. Now Huawei, Amic, smic and other companies have risen strongly and achieved a breakthrough. I believe that in a few years, China will be able to completely break the blockade in the field of chips and lithography machines, and Chinese chips and lithography machines will surely rise strongly. Please like if you agree.